All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I just finished working not too long ago. So I want to go ahead and do this live. And the purpose of me doing this today is because uh, back in November, I talked to you guys about weight care. I did my first actual live show on TikTok talking about weight care for weight loss. And so, one of the things that I wanted to do today is to come back and follow up on that because for those of you who may have seen it, if you haven't seen it, the whole full video is on TikTok. It's on my page, so you can go back and you can see it from beginning to end. I have other stuff on there too about the program because for me it has been amazing. So when I started out in October. I weighed 177 pounds in October. I chose to do weight care because, as far as having like diabetes or any of the health conditions or anything like that, that you can actually qualify for the different medications and possibly have your insurance to pay for. I don't qualify for any of those things because I'm pretty healthy. The only thing that I have that is going on is the fact that I am overweight for my height. So that's one of the things that was a concern for me because, of course, even if you are healthy, if you are overweight, you still have the possibility of developing things such as diabetes, hypertension, and other, high cholesterol, things that you definitely do not want, especially since I am definitely getting older now. So for me, weight care worked out very, very good because of the fact that I could talk with the doctor, not have to go in for an appointment. I'm a nurse. I work a lot of hours. I'm a nurse practitioner. I work a lot of hours as I also have my own business, my clothing business. So I do a lot. So I stay busy. So the ability to be flexible with just about everything that I have going on in my life for me is paramount. And so weight care allows me to be able to be in the program and to participate in the program, but to still do it at home and do it totally in an online format. And so that's first. So in October, I started off like I said, at 177, and I did my weight. Was it Tuesday? And I am at 164. So that means that with weight care so far, I have lost a total of 13 pounds. And so for me, the program has worked very well. I like the fact of being able to talk to my physician via email to say how the medication is doing for me. I like the ability to say that I feel like I'm doing okay on the medication. Can I go ahead and get my increase? I like the ability to be able to do that. Not only I have the ability to do that, but the medication comes to my home. They tell you what you need to do with the medication because prior, when you are on board, when you're onboarding, when you're getting started, those are the things that they're going to tell you about. They're going to tell you about your medication. So you go through your little consultation to find out, about your weight. They have you take a picture, so you'll take a picture, and I'll do that in a video. I'll do like my before and like my now, and I'll kind of keep up with that as I go on this journey. So for me, I'm 5'2". So about between 145, 150 is a good fit for me. And that means, for me, that means still looking healthy because I don't mind losing weight or anything like that, but I don't want to look terrible losing weight because I think I look pretty doggone good now, even though I might be obese and I might be overweight. To me, I'm proportioned. My head and everything is going together. They all match up. So I don't want to lose so much weight that I start to look emaciated, meaning that you're just way too skinny. You look sickly. You don't look healthy. If you're doing something that is supposed to be healthy for you and something that's supposed to be good for you, then your appearance should reflect that. And as I said before, if you haven't seen the full video of when I talked about when I first started the program back in October, like I said, If you go to my page, you can see it on my TikTok page. It's there, and other videos and about weight care and everything, and it's worked for me. Everything is not for everyone. So for me, this fits. I like the ability to be able to do this at home. I like my medications coming directly to my home. I like being able to administer the medications. They tell you how to do those things. So this is not, it's not something where you're going to be you're going to be confused about it. And there are a lot of people that are in the weight care program. The other thing that they have, which is really, really super cool, and I tell people this too, it's okay to go ahead and, to do whatever weight loss method that you're trying to do that's working for you. If you're doing medications, the important part is always going to be that you have to make sure you are checking in with your doctor. Check in with your doctor. Don't just go on what someone else has said, what the news is saying, or anything like that. Go to your doctor and make sure that this program is going to be something, or these medications are something that you are able to actually do, and you're actually able to do successfully. But it goes beyond that. You can't just do the medications only and think that the medication is going to be the end all be all, because then you'll hear the other thing. Well, when do I go off the medication? Well, for me personally, when I get to the weight that I want to be, I am going off the medication, because in that time frame, if you think about it, if I've been on it since October, if I'm doing the things that I'm telling you guys in the video and I say that I'm doing, then these are things now that are in my day-to-day routine. So this is now a no-brainer. This is not something that somebody has to tell me about or anything like that. This is a no-brainer now. So I know that the medications work. I know nutrition is a must. You have got to watch what you're eating. I am not going to be able to continue to eat candy, cookie, pop, potato chips, pizza, and go all wild and just eat things beyond the point of being full just for the sake of eating and enjoying the food. It's okay to enjoy food, but not to a point where we make ourselves so sick that we are gaining weight and we're getting unhealthy and we can't move around and we're putting more stress on our joints. No. So nutrition is important. So we got the medications, we got the nutrition, hydration, water. I'm not a big fan of water, but guess what I'm drinking? I'm drinking water because I know that water is needed. Water is needed to be able, for your body to be able to process and to do every metabolic thing in your body that it needs to do, and it needs to do a whole lot of stuff. It's got to keep your heart running. It's got to keep your lungs going. It's got to keep your skin, clean. It's got to, make sure that you're able to go to the bathroom. Make sure you're able to go pee. Make sure you're able to have a bowel movement. All of those things work when you are hydrated and you have enough fluid. So you need to be able to have that, on board also. The other thing is exercise. Yeah, I know it's terrible. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but I tell you that after doing it for a little while, once you get used to it, you have to start somewhere. I don't say that you got to run a marathon or anything like that. I'm not telling you got to do 10 sets of 3 of these and 20 sets of this or whatever. You need to do the things that are actually comfortable for you. So you do the exercise program that's comfortable for you. And so I did that in my last video, and I'm going to show you something. So this little doohickey here, this is your thigh trainer, pelvic trainer. I love this thing. I bought it in the TikTok shop. It was very, very inexpensive. I think it was like $10 or whatever. And so one of the things, before I even decided to do the medication, the very first thing that I started doing is I started changing the way that I was eating. So I work night shift, and so night shift, you can really get into this real a bad habit of wanting to eat and eat and eat. And yes, if you're a night shift worker, you're kind of changing your routine around, and so you're doing the night shift thing. But if you're doing that, you got to also remember your activity must match that. And so changing my eating habits, I'm not sitting there and trying to eat, all through the night because, it's slow or whatever, or, for whatever reason it's stress. I can't do those things. And so that nutrition thing started immediately. The next thing I did was started working on what type of things that I want to do for like exercising. For me, I like this exerciser for two things. I'll show you, because I'll do my little exercise as because this will be part of my live, like it is whenever I'm talking about this, because you need to see what I do. So this is what I do. So this is my story. This is Desiree's story. This is what's been successful for Desiree. I don't know if it'll be successful for you, but you can always give something a try. This I like because I like being able to put that between my legs. I like being able to work on my inner thigh muscles, because you can definitely feel that when you're working on, when you're you have it in between your thighs and you're working on it. The other thing too is that if you have a problem with urinary incontinence or anything like that, which some of us do, this is a thing to strengthen. You should be able to stop, and you should be able to stop your urine stream at any time. If you go to the bathroom and you're actively peeing, then you should be able to stop that flow of that pee. And if you're not able to, that tells you already that you have a weak pelvic muscle. And weak pelvic muscles for us, it can be because of being overweight. It can also be because of childbearing, because, if you've had children, then, there's a lot of things that are dropping in as we age, the same thing. This helps that. And so I like it. And so I'm going to show you the exercises that I do with it. Most of the time what I do is I keep it in between my legs, doing my thigh exercises, but I incorporate other exercises along with it. I like the fact that a lot of the genes and things that I wasn't able to get into, I'm able to get into now. And I know it's because of this. Also, when I'm working this, I also feel this in my glute muscles. So I feel that in my butt too. And not just anywhere in my butt, but the bottom of the butt. And the bottom of the butt is kind of like the hardest place to be able to kind of like work or whatever. And this does it. The way that I do it with my squats, and I do it with my sit-ups, or not sit-ups, but when I'm doing abdominal work. And I'll show you how I do that. And so I love this thing. And so you can do other things with it too. You can do arm things, but I'm going to show you the specific ones that I use for this. And so thank you guys so much. Make sure that you double tap the screen. Make sure that you share. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Jen. Hey, sweetie. Thank you so much for joining. So basically, the reason I wanted to do this today is because today is Thursday, and guess what? Today is my day to do my injection. And so I said, well, let me just go ahead and just get on and just show them how I just go all the way through and do my whole like injection thing. And then at the end, I'm going to just end with my exercises, because I think that's important, because you need to be doing your exercises. For those of you who just joined or whatever, I'm talking about weight care. That's the program that I chose to utilize for me. It's the Teracestabine that I am using. I'll show you the bottle so you can see it and everything like that. It's not the Semgovi. You can do that too, Wegovy. It's a whole bunch of different names out there, but that's the one that I'm using. And a lot of them, do a lot of the similar things. The one that I'm doing is the one that I could qualify as someone who does not have hypertension, who does not have diabetes, who does not have any health conditions going on, but who still is overweight by height and weight standards. Height and weight, BMI, all of that wonderful stuff translates into being overweight. I know I'm overweight, so that's why I joined the program. So I've been doing it since October. I started off at 177 pounds. I'm down to 164 pounds. Before, when I started in October, before I even went to medication, the first thing I worked on was my nutrition. Eating better. So giving up all the sweets, giving up the sodas. Sodas was hard for me. Giving up my Coke was really, really difficult for me, but it was something I had to give up. So, I do the vitamin water. I don't like anything with the aftertaste. So switching to artificial sugars and all of that stuff was not the thing for me. But I like vitamin water. I like Gatorade, but I like the vitamin water just a little bit more, because it just has a little bit lighter, cleaner taste to me. And you get them in all different kind of flavors, and it's low calorie. And then the sweets also had to give that up. If you are doing bread or anything like that, you have to decrease the amount of. Nothing says that you have to stop everything, but I had to start somewhere. And so I had to decrease the amount of what I was eating and get rid of some of the things that I was eating. And so that's what I did. The next thing I did for me is I incorporated my exercise in there, because when you're losing weight, you hear people talking about loose skin and all of that stuff. And that's because you're losing weight at a high rate. It's quick for you. And so, but you're not building any muscle. muscle at that time. A lot of times people are not trying to work out or do anything like that. And so I'm a military girl, so I spent 18 years in the military. So when I say workout and stuff like that, and when I say exercise, you better believe I'm including weights in there. So I use my weights. I think that it's extremely important, especially as women, as we get older, that we add weights to our training, because that helps us to be able to tone. It helps to prevent all of that loose skin, because right now I've got a coworker that works with me. She's on the Semgovy, and one of the things that she's had a problem with is she's lost all this weight. She's got all that loose skin. Now, what is she doing now? Now she's going and she's doing her exercise and she's doing her weight training. That should have already been something that was on the plate. So I'm telling you right now that if you don't want to do your nutrition and you don't want to try to do some exercising along with this program, you're probably not going to be happy with it, and you're probably not going to be successful, because you're going to be one of the individuals that once you no longer have to do the medication, you're not going to be able to maintain anything, because you have not set yourself up to do anything that is actually bringing about change for yourself. And so I'm very happy with the program. So today is my injection. And so what you guys are going to see now, I'm going to go ahead and do my injection. So I'm going to go show you the package and everything, how it comes, and get my needles and everything. And I'm going to go ahead and do my injection today. So hold on. Now, if you're somebody that you feel like, oh my God, I'm scared of needles, I cannot do a needle, then have someone help you if you can. Hey, Miss Gigi. Hey, Greta. Hey, Demi. Hey, Del Hootie. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Let me just go and just say hi to some folks. Hey there, Salvador. Hey, Asmer. Hey, Sir Maki. Hi, Elaine Washington. Hi, Misha. Hi, Browning. Hi, Usfront. Hi, Ufuma. Hi, Maynor. Hi, Diani. Hello, Cindy. Hi, user 275. Hey, Lifestyle. Hey, Q or K. Hey, Dre. Hey, S4 Murray. Hey, everyone. Okay, all right. So if you don't like needles and you feel like you're not going to be able to do it, then see if you can get somebody to help. So basically, you get your needle. This is how your package comes to you when it comes to you in the mail. It comes to you from the pharmacy. And you can see on there, it says Revive prescription, it says pharmacy, all that wonderful stuff. As a nurse, that's important for me. I need to see where my stuff is coming from. I need to know where it's coming from, and I need to know that it's going to be something that I'm going to, be able to utilize. So it comes in an insulated pack, or either it comes in a box that's insulated, either one. The first thing it will tell you is that please do not discard, because this is your prescription also on here. This will tell you exactly how much of the medication you're supposed to give yourself, so that you will know exactly what you're giving when you are doing the medications. And so for me, right now I'm at 5 milligrams. And so this is, this is the dose for me. That is the first one. Depending on how I do, I'll decide at the end of the month whether or not, I want my doctor to increase this or not. So this is every week. So this is not every day. It's not every day. This is an injection once a week. Today is my week mark. So today is Thursday. So today is the day that I have to actually do my injection. And so the next thing that you do, you go ahead and take it out of the pack. So this tells you have to refrigerate it. So as soon as mine comes in, I go ahead and I check my contents and everything. I put it in the refrigerator. So it stays in the refrigerator. All right, and so you also get like the little ice packs, and then this is my little vial of medication. And so you can also see on the vial, exactly what is your dose that you're supposed to be taking. And so it'll say it on there for how much you're supposed to give yourself. If you have questions about your dosing, that's why you have the ability to talk to your physician, be it via email anytime. They tell you if you have questions to go ahead and ask. Not only that, they also, Weight Care has an app. And so you can get on the app too, and you can see what other questions are for people that are actually on it. So people that are just like, you that are doing it, you can get on the app. You can go ahead and not only can you get on there for that, you can track like your weight, you can track, like your hydration, your nutrition, your exercise. They also have the videos in there. So like when you go on, you can go on and you can actually see like videos that, that if you want to, do that, but they have an app that supports you also. And also it says on there clearly, refrigerate. So make sure that you're refrigerating it. All right, and so this is my bottle that I'm going to be taking. And so very, very, very simple. I'm not using this one because this one is not open yet. I'm going to use this one because it's open. How can I tell it is open? Because the blue cap is off of it. So when the blue cap is off of it, I know this is the one that I'm using. I'm going to use, this one versus using the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it off with the alcohol pad. I'm keeping my alcohol pad in my hand because I'm going to need it. Then you're going to open up the needle. All right, so now we got, I got my needle here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and get my medication. I usually, when I'm doing mine, I like to hold it up to the light so that I can actually see that the medicine is actually going in there. You can see where it actually is. And so this is pretty simple because the little lines, I'm at 5, 6, 7, and then I'm 7.5. And so now I have my injection drawn up. I always use my stomach, and not just anywhere on my stomach. I always make sure that I'm, changing it. So I'm going to do a different side. So, it's important for you to keep up with what side. I know I did it this side last time, cleaning it off with my alcohol pad. This needle is very, very small. You go ahead, you inject it, push it in. Voila, that's over. All right, so now I'm good for the week. I'm good until Thursday again. And so I always like to break the needle off just because, I'm going to be putting this, I'm not in the hospital. I'm not putting this in a sharps container, but I still don't want anybody to get stuck. So I usually, and then I put it inside of this little casing here. Put everything back on there so there's no needle or anything like that on there, but I still like to put the stuff back on it, and that's how I get rid of it. Easy peasy. Now I'm good for the week. Go ahead and make sure that you package all your stuff back up. So I'm put it back into my insulated container. I put my ice packs back in there also. So I put my ice packs in there. I lay those down. Put the medicine back in there. Reseal my insulated pack that they sent to me to make sure that I keep it refrigerated and make sure that it stays the temperature and everything it's supposed to stay, and then putting it back in my refrigerator for next week. And there we have it. So now I've had my injection. So that was the easy part. Now here comes the part that we don't always like, and I'm hoping that you guys can see me very well. I think you guys can see me all the way back here. All right, so this is the exercise thing that I do, you know, and I've been doing it for quite some time because I did it while I was in the military too. So we're gonna start off with some standard push-ups. I'm not telling you got to do a certain amount of push-ups or anything like that. I do a full body push-up. I don't do it on my knees or anything like that. I spent 18 years in the military. I should be able to get myself up off my knees, and so I do get off my knees. So I just start off with my 15. All right, so that's my 15 push-ups. Now I'm going to get my pelvic trainer. My pelvic trainer is going in between my legs, but I'm getting ready to start doing my abdominal work. So I'm going to go ahead and get on the floor in between my thighs. I like to isolate my abdominals, so we're going to hold it like this for 10 seconds. Hold it as long as you can. This is just a go by. Then I go ahead and I squeeze for a set of 10. Now we're going to lift up. So this is my little push-up. Not push-up, but sit-up. 10. Hold it. That's the abdominal work. Keep your pelvic trainer. All right, so my pelvic trainer is still in between my legs. We're gonna do some squats. Now, when I go down, I'm squeezing this pelvic trainer when I go down. So this is what helps you with both the pelvic muscle, the inner thigh, and that bottom glute that I was talking about. So just regular old squats. Remember, your knee cannot go over your toes. Just 10. And squeeze. Do not drop this pelvic trainer. All right, now stay in the squat. Do not get up. I want you to squeeze this pelvic trainer and do a pulse. So the weights that I have, these are 12 pounds. And this 10. And just back to squats. Squeeze this pelvic trainer. When you go down, squeeze it. All right, so typically right from here, I like to work on my calves. Still got this pelvic trainer in. Just lift up. As I lift up, you can't really tell, squeezing this pelvic trainer. Just 10. Stay up. Little pulses here. Squeeze this pelvic trainer. Now you might not be able to be as coordinated because remember I've been doing it since beginning of October. Now you can drop your pelvic trainer. So that's that part. All right, so we're going to continue on. Next thing we're going to do is some biceps, just 10. Now from here, you can do pulses if you want to. I worked out before I went to work, and this is after I'm getting off from work. I'm going to my triceps next. Over your head. Drop them down. Elbow should be close to your head. And then up for triceps. Just 10. All right, and then I drop straight into a shoulder press, just 10. All right, I'm sweating. Gives me an indication that what I'm doing is working for me. And then you can always add some cardio. I worked all night last night and I was walking back and forth. I'm counting that as my cardio. See how easy that is? I didn't make it nothing hard or anything like that. No, I don't need to go out and try to find me a gym or something like that to run in. I did everything in my home. Got my medications delivered. If you go into my bio, you can see that there's a $200 coupon in there that you can use in my TikTok bio. If you're thinking about you want to start the program, that gets you $200 off. Why is that important? It's important because I think that with anything, the 30 days that you're going to put into this or whatever, why don't you take the ability to get a discount to try it for 30 days? Because it may not, like I said, everything is not for everybody. This may not be for you. So if it's something that's not for you, then it's just something that's not for you. But it is for me because I'm weighed 177 and now I'm at 164. But these are the things that I do. And so you gotta, this has got to be it's a lifestyle change. It's not just it's not a fad thing or anything like that. And you feel good when you're doing it. So I thank all of you guys for joining me today so very, very much. Go in my bio, go to my page, look at some of the videos, see if it's something that is for you, if it's not, or whatever. But like I said, I was going to do before, and if you go back to my video from before, I said I'd keep you guys up on this journey, and so I'm keeping you up on the journey. I feel better. I already knew it. I can tell you right now, I knew it already when I started putting my clothes on. I didn't need to step on the scale because some of the clothes that I was like, oh man, I can't button them over my stomach, especially my stomach. That seems to be the part where, you know, I have lost, like, it seems like I'm losing the most inches or whatever, and I feel the most progress. Definitely my thighs. I attribute that to the pelvic trainer, using that pelvic trainer along with, you know, the squats and everything. I think that is just, that's the thing to do. And then while I'm losing the weight, I'm not getting flabby, you know, and getting loose skin or anything like that. And that's important. Oh, there's another thing I can do with the pelvic trainer, but I'll show you guys that another time. But anyway, because I use it like for my neck too. Just kind of do a little motion because, you know, because I don't really want to use weight there, because I know one of the bodybuilders back in the day used to say, you know, you don't want to do that because, you know, you might make your neck weighted and stuff like that. That might be good for a bodybuilder, but not just something that you want just in general. So the reason that the medication works so well, in my opinion, is the fact that I'm not sitting around focusing on food all the time, all throughout the day like I used to before. Before, it was like, when did I get my next meal? Feeling hungry all the time. Just eating and still feeling hungry. Don't have that any longer. And one of the reasons is because it does slow gastric emptying, and by slowing gastric emptying, it does allow you to feel full longer, which is a plus. Because if you're feeling full, that's what you need to understand. Full is full. You don't eat beyond being full or anything like that. That's when you start to get yourself into these traps of where you can no longer understand when your brain signal is sending you the signal that tells you that you're full, because you eat past it all the time. So you gotta reset it. You gotta understand that full is full. I don't need to eat right now because I'm not hungry. And if you're not hungry, don't eat. It's that simple. Don't go off of someone else. Do what is good for your body, that is healthy for you, and that you feel like you can continue to do. And so this works for me. Deliver it from home. Look at my bio. The coupon is in there. You can look at some of the other videos that are there. The pelvic trainer, if you don't have one, I recommend that you get one. I think I've got, it's in one of my videos also, but it's a phenomenal piece of equipment that you can take it anywhere. Because if you guys look back, I think I've gotten some where I did it at work, some of my lives with the pelvic trainer and stuff, doing pretty much the exercises I do now. So that was just me doing, going through what I did. So if you're super strong and you're super, you can do better, do it 2 or 3 more times. Just go through the whole thing. Add, instead of doing 10 this time, maybe do 15. The push-ups I had to work, I had to work my way up to, because I was used to doing it. So you're not going to start off doing everything immediate. I didn't start off losing weight immediately. Those 30 days, they want you to make sure that this is right for you. You need to make sure that medicine is going to be okay for you. In those 30 days, don't think in 30 days you're getting ready to be, super tiny or anything like that, because that's not going to happen. It's going to take the work. It's going to take the effort. You still have to do something. And so I encourage you guys to take a look at take a look at my bio. Take a look at the videos that are, on there. I have those pinned to the top for the most part, because this is a journey for me. It's important for me. And, it's important for other people too, because I know I talk to coworkers. I know I talk to other people that, are on similar journeys, with whatever methods that they are utilizing. And, and everything, like I said, is not for everybody. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Your girl is going to say, have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm getting ready to get myself together, get my shower, so I can get ready to get myself back to work tonight. So I appreciate you guys always showing up, sharing the live and everything. I appreciate any comments that you want to leave on my bio page. I do have a bulletin board there now. You can, look at the bulletin board. I try to put updates on there as much as possible. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. Always so good to see you. So I'll see you next time. All right.